Life on Earth has shaped plants and animals in response to everyday demands from their environment. When scientists began to think about what extraterrestrial beings might look like, they first took a look at Earth's fossil record. It showed how life evolved here over time. They figured that evolution on other planets would probably lead to similar adaptations in alien plants and animals. However, they later realized that evolution would actually adjust alien life to fit their own unique environments, rather than just mimic what we see on Earth. Here's a rundown of 10 ideas about what extraterrestrial life could be like, shaped by the challenges and conditions of their worlds. K218b, a planet located 120 light-years away from us, might be completely covered by an ocean. The James Webb Telescope has picked up signs that could indicate life there, specifically a molecule often linked to living things like algae on Earth. If scientists can rule out non-biological sources for this molecule, it's a good sign that K28b could have some form of life, even if it's not smart life. If it turns out to be intelligent, NASA thinks it would be a groundbreaking discovery. Could the oceans hiding underneath the frozen shells of Jupiter's moons support alien life? That's what the European Space Agency is trying to figure out. The icy surfaces of these moons might actually protect any potential marine organisms from the harsh radiation of space, while the warmer insides could help support life. The agency's Jupiter Icy Moons Explorer, or JUICE, will focus on the 3 big moons, Callisto, Europa, and Ganymede. With its 10 instruments, the spacecraft will map these moons and look below their icy crusts to see if they could support life. If life is found, it would likely be microbial, as noted by Professor Andrew Knoll from Harvard, relying on chemosynthesis for energy. According to physicist Enrico Fermi, if we do come across extraterrestrials, they might be tiny alien microbes that intelligent civilizations have spread across the Milky Way, a concept known as directed panspermia. Some theorize that the life forms we might find could simply be dormant spores sent out to check on us and figure out if we're a threat that needs to be taken care of. Others even suggest that we might be the extraterrestrials ourselves, tossed into space when a giant meteor hit our ancient home planet. The Xenobiology Museum, which you can visit online, features alien life imagined by humans and generated with AI. Dr. Tanya Singh, the museum's founder, explains that the images are created based on specific guidelines rooted in biological science and the challenges of studying alien life. These creations focus on how different body parts and features function while considering the alien environments they come from. The museum showcases all kinds of imaginary alien species, everything from mammals and birds to reptiles, fish, arthropods, and even unclassified xenoforms. For instance, the skeleton closet exhibit includes 50 wild and strange skeletal structures that look bizarre, featuring everything from triangular skulls with jagged bony projections to bones resembling a fusion of a lizard and an armadillo. The look of alien creatures would probably be limited by the same rules that nature follows for plants and animals here on Earth. It's pretty unlikely that they'll look like the green aliens you often see in sci-fi stories. But according to a BBC Science Focus article, biomechanical experts and astrobiologists think that extraterrestrials might remind us of some interesting alien life forms from 2 classic documentaries, 1998 and 2005. One idea is about walking trees that have evolved to have beating hearts or even feet to move around for better access to light and water. An artist has imagined a mix between an animal and a plant, showing a bunch of protruding parts with vegetation growing from them. It moves on 5 spindly, root-like legs, with one leg branching into 2. Seems far-fetched? Not if such traits were good adaptations for its environment. Was a collaboration between the BBC Natural History Unit and the Discovery Channel, featuring scientists and experts from various UK universities and NASA. The film throws out the idea of humanoid aliens and suggests some other forms that might be more likely to evolve in different environments. Science writer and paleontologist Dougal Dixon introduces us to a possible alien species called gasbags from a fictional planet named Furia, which has a super sulfur-rich atmosphere. These mushroom-shaped creatures, dubbed gasbags or barrage balloons, anchor themselves to the planet with long stalks that can stretch thousands of kilometers. They stay afloat thanks to the gas they produce and soak up energy from the sun. They reproduce by rubbing against each other to exchange genetic material, and the little ones grow off from their parents. Once the stalks are long enough to reach the ground, they let go and become independent. Another gem from the Discovery Channel dives into what alien life could look like, including a dramatic interaction between a groveback and a field of beach quills. A spaceship from Earth sends out two probes, Leo and Ike, to explore the fictional planet Darwin 4. They find some fascinating creatures, including a 5-story-tall groveback with a diamond-shaped head and body, thick legs, and a grove of spiky projections on its back. The narrator notes that just moving around on Darwin 4 is a risky business. When the groveback encounters a colony of beach quills, it ends up in trouble as the quills launch an attack, pumping neurotoxin into its body. The groveback cries out in pain, stumbles, and falls to the ground, where the quills quickly consume it. As highlighted by Newsweek's senior science reporter Pandora Dewan, a paper from researchers at the University of Oxford, titled Darwin's Aliens, suggests that the same evolution models we use for life on Earth could hint at what life might be like on other planets, or even on Enceladus, one of Saturn's moons. This ocean world has phosphorus, a key element for DNA and a component of ATP, or adenosine triphosphate. One of the alien beings imagined on Enceladus is called the octomite, which looks like a supercharged version of a tardigrade. It's made up of different parts that work together, with each part having its own special role. The octomite reproduces by budding. In his children's book, illustrator David Aguilar combines art and science to visualize how alien creatures could adapt to their habitats. He explores this through 8 different worlds, each showcasing unique life forms that reflect Earth's history. He also moves away from the typical humanoid aliens concept, believing we will discover some truly bizarre adaptations on other planets. Aguilar imagines creatures like beach rollers, sea pups, coneheads, cave crawlers, wind catchers, arrowheads, net seraphs, and temmets. The last of these aliens, the temmet, is inspired by a real fossil called Hallucigenia, a small worm with spikes and tentacle-like legs. The temmet is quite large for a low-gravity planet, uses a proboscis to suck up water from lakes, and navigates its surroundings with sonar instead of eyes. Its spikes also give off sounds, helping it to understand its environment. Researchers at Oxford University don't think extraterrestrial life will necessarily evolve like the plants and animals we have on Earth. Sam Levin, one of the researchers, points out that they used evolutionary theory to make predictions without relying on Earth's specifics. They even thought about aliens that could be based on silicon, don't have DNA, and breathe nitrogen. They came up with 3 types of aliens, which they labeled A, B, and C. Each one is more adaptable than the last. A is just a simple replicating molecule, while B is like a cell that can go through natural selection, even though it's pretty basic. C, on the other hand, is a more complicated alien with lots of parts working together and is likely to go through big evolutionary changes. In a sketch of alien C, it has 6 short feet and an hourglass shape that ends in a circular top surrounded by tentacles. From the center of its top grows an umbrella-like appendage with little circular growths, and from those, short shoots spread out.